Hi, everybody. Now, thank you guys all so much for coming for this track. I'm slightly losing my voice, so if you hear me coughing to the side, I apologize. But yes, you are in the correct place. This is the day I made the DMV slower. So let's go ahead and get started onto this amazing, great journey of how I made my big first mistake in cyber. Now, of course, we can't skip this from those that play Skyrim, the who are you, and I want to just quickly kind of introduce you guys and gals of who I am. And obviously, you can go to my LinkedIn page. You can see what I have. I have just under 10 years of experience. I work for Leidos on our defensive side for Department of Homeland Security. I am part of a cyber protection team in the Army. I have a YouTube channel. I run a nonprofit where we help folks break into cyber. But you can find that on my LinkedIn. You can do your own OSINT. This is the real important side of who am I. I play D&D. I'm a nerd. I like Critical Role. I'm a dad. I like to go scuba diving. I am a Warcraft fan. If you're on the Alliance side, I'm so sorry. I like to go to the gym. I used to be in law enforcement. I was a detective for 7 years with the City of Phoenix Police Department. I like food. That's a Naruto noodle eating reference. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just a nerd. Don't worry about it. I like to travel. That's a photo in Germany. I get to travel a lot with the military doing instant response for the Doden. Every year, I jokingly like to say I like to get my yearly photo with John Hammond, so making sure I'm not looking more and more like him as I break into cyber. I like food. We are a Disney family at my house. I am a whole family of gingers with my beautiful blonde-haired baby girl. And it being a ginger family living in Arizona, I chose to live life on hard mode because we have our crazy summers. I am in the Army still. I'm in 17 years. I am a warrant officer with our cyber protection team. I like to go hiking begrudgingly with my wife. And I work in a SOC, so the "this is fine" meme is my day-to-day life. So let me paint the scene. This was my first role breaking into cyber. I just got out of law enforcement back in 2022 with the state of Arizona Department of Homeland Security. They gave me my shot. They gave me my chance. I've never really used cyber tools before. I just got my Security Plus. I was the eager intern, maybe eager beaver. What could go wrong? So what we're going to talk about today are kind of where this kind of leads into, and this is going to be phishing emails and investigations. So a phishing email is a social engineering attack designed to trick recipients into revealing sensitive information. Clicking a malicious link, downloading harmful attachments, it typically impersonates a trusted source, like a bank, a coworker, a known company, that creates a sense of urgency or legitimacy. Now, there's a few things I wish I would have known before this big oopsie happened that we're going to kind of talk about today briefly. So SPF, this is if the mailman is allowed, stands for Sender Policy Framework. Think of this as FPF being a guest list. A domain like school.com makes a list of IP addresses, the mailmen, allowing them to send emails. And when a message shows up, your email server asks, is this mailman on that list? If yes, you're going to see a pass. If not, this could possibly be spoofed. Next up, we have DKIM, or did the principal actually sign this? This stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail. DKIM adds a digital signature to each email, like a signature at the bottom of a letter. If it uses encryption to prove one or messed up with this message, your mail system checks these signatures using public records. If it is a pass, it is a signature match, is authentic. If it does not, someone may have changed it, and that could be a warning sign. Now we have DMARC. DMARC stands for Domain-Based Message Authentication, Reporting, and Conformance. DMARC is like the school policy. It says, if SPF and or DKIM fail, here's what we do or reject. We quarantine or we allow, but we report it to our higher staff. Now, how do these help when it comes to these phishing investigations? And I promise the fun part of how I slow down the DMV is coming, and this is the learning portion of this talk. So SPF means that mail server is allowed. As I mentioned before, that's our trusted mailman. Why this is important is if it passes, the sender is probably legit, and the email wasn't sent from someone random or trying to maybe get into our network. Now, if DKIM fails, this means that the email was changed after it was sent, or the signature doesn't match. So what the real sender could be using could be maybe spoofed. Now, what matters is if this is spotting is just a forged signature on a note, this means that message could have been tampered with or fake. Now, when the DMARC fails, the sender and domain doesn't match up with that SPF or DKIM rules. Or it's if the school says, okay, the teacher can send notes, but someone else is trying to. Now, very much here on this screen, we have very many of our basic known social engineering red flags. We'll just kind of quickly touch on those points there with all the triangles. So the who it's from page, So maybe it's someone that you've never really worked with. It's a different organization, third party outside your organization. That could be a red flag if you're not expecting mail from them. Maybe the date set on an unusual time. It's sent at 2 in the morning when your normal work hours, or maybe 7 to 5. The to from, who is it actually going to? Is it the correct sender? Are there additional folks on that to line? Your subject, is it irrelevant? Does the subject match the type of stuff you usually would normally see? Or maybe it's something you've never even seen or requested before from another team. Attachments are huge. So why is this attachment on here? Is this something I should be seeing? But wait, it says bonuses 2026. I want to see if I got my bonus. Probably not the right thing, or maybe it might be something that's luring you to click on that to see if you're going to get into it and get phished. Also the content. We're looking for misspelled words. Maybe the words or the body don't really flow well, and that can also be a red flag. And of course, any hyperlinks. So any of your shortened bit.ly links, or maybe something itself that doesn't really seem natural or usual that way you'd be seeing this. So first mistake of when I made the DMV a little slower is we reviewed a lot of tools on fingertips, and it was via through a fire hose. I also had not asked probably enough of my onboarding questions on did I ask enough, because breaking into cyber in your first role, you're super excited, but you're also a little nervous. You don't want to come off and maybe ask silly questions or stupid questions that maybe you think you should have already known before getting this role. And then also, practice makes perfect. Did I get enough practice use case in maybe a mock environment or training simulations that my manager gave me to really make myself the best candidate into that role? And if I ask for help or ask like I'm confused, maybe that's gonna make me not look like I was the best candidate, and that could be a negative aspect. I had so many questions. So I'm gonna show you guys 2 photos real quick, and you don't need to answer out loud, or you're more than welcome to, but I have 2 photos here of 2 DocuSign images. And if you can see to my left, your right, we have the blackened one, and then on the other side, you have the blue. Would anyone like to raise their hand and guess which one is maybe spoofed or fake, and if one is real, or if they're both fake, or if they're both real? So very much to the naked eye, if you're working hard, you're working 9 to 5, it's your Friday, you worked a long week, this DocuSign comes, which maybe you see on a very day-to-day normal basis. Maybe it's something like, okay, maybe different format. Yeah, I'll go ahead and open it and click it and sign it. Well, it turns out that blue one on that left side is a fake one. That is a phishing credential. And I know there's a few things that are circled in red, obviously, incorrect grammar, code to a bit.ly link are incorrect. The DocuNet is a different site. And then to the right, you have one that's a little bit more cleaner format. There's an actual to and a name from, it's not generic. And that's one way that you can kind of also see and utilize of, okay, well, maybe this is legitimate. But one thing I always like to remind people is always trust but verify. You might still see these every single day, and maybe there's a payment or an HR organization that also deals with DocuSign every single day, but there'll be a third-party organization that they send some type of form in that might not be looking the normal way that they see on a day-to-day basis. So always trust but verify, and opening up that DKIM, SKIM, DMARC, going into your header, looking at that information, reviewing the to, from, sender URLs is going to be a huge way to prevent you from taking down a network. Now, trust but verify, as I said, a lot of things we have here are quickly reviewing emails. Me and my intern, we were with a very small team where we had multiple organizations we reviewed for. We didn't do enough OSINT. We specifically kind of saw this and said, man, this looks like credential harvesting. We were both new to the game, him being an intern, me being brand new into cyber, but me being at a senior analyst title, I had to kind of see what I knew what I was doing. So we used all the resources and tools that we could, and we wanted to make sure that we could find what we could. And what we were seeing is like, oh man, this is very much used a lot of the times on credential harvesting. Now, things that we could have done better is we could have maybe done a prevalence check. If I would simply would have done a 30, 60, 90-day look back on previous emails or places of what maybe the DMV usually goes to on a day-to-day basis or what normal traffic looks like, I may have been able to catch that this was actually not benign. And we didn't have a QA or QC real process, so it was ideally my way or the highway. I got to tell my intern this is what we're gonna do. We didn't really have a way to push it back up, and we decided to go ahead and yeah, let's go. But as many of you know, when going through phishing investigations, you can go down some pretty deep rabbit holes. So what did we do? We locked eyes, we grabbed our keys, we blocked DocuSign. Let me tell you, this was a really, really important time of when we did this. We did this on Thursday at 4 p.m. So, you want to know how we immediately felt? We just saved the day. Yo, state, you're welcome. DMV, you're not getting phished today. Nice try, Russia. You're not getting my credentials. What could go wrong? So you can't fall for phishing attacks if you don't check your emails or if you're not getting the DocuSign emails. And you know, when you block DocuSign, and then obviously when you're not, the DMV turns exactly into what Zootopia said it was. Bunch of sloths. So let's paint the picture. Friday morning, I wake up, give my wife and a daughter a kiss, tell them good morning as I head off to work. And 8 o'clock comes around. DMV reaches out to my SOC manager. Hey, we can't get into DocuSign. Appears to be like it's blocked or not working. Hasn't hit me yet. All right. SOC manager tries to do some troubleshooting. Man, maybe the license expired, user error. It's layer 1. It's probably the issue, right? No, license is good, not user error. SOC manager pings me like, hey man, I need your help. We can't figure out why DocuSign's not working. I'm like, man, that's wild. I just blocked some DocuSign. Give me 5 minutes. And yeah, realized I blocked DocuSign, which was a legitimate process for the DMV. And yeah, some panic started to take place. We fucked up. Oh, we messed up. We messed up. Excuse the language. Immediate thoughts. I can't get a new job. I just left the state. They trusted me here. Yeah, pretty panic start to take place. So we had some choices. We blame the intern. Still blame the intern. What'd the intern do now? Take the blame, but still blame the intern. And take responsibility and don't blame the intern. Now, everybody, if you picked anything other than E, you're gonna be a good manager one day. All right, so some things we learned. So working with my team and kind of learning from this mistake. Long story short, my manager, which I don't see him in this room. Adam Pena, you in this room? Whew, okay, he's not. He knows this story. But long story short, DMV we were able to quickly make my oopsie fix. And my SOC manager was in very good communications with the DMV saying, hey, we made a mistake. Here's why. And it was more or less a really good coaching time. So I was brand new to the field. I didn't have to ask enough questions. And yeah, there was a little bit of doubt there and very much imposter syndrome. I'm like, man, did I make the right choice? Should I be here? I just caused a huge outage and it caused a lot of headaches. But with that, I learned a lot more questions I had to ask, got a little bit deeper in verifying my tool access with my team. And obviously, immediately, just like I have in most in all of my career, I took responsibility. I acknowledged my mistake. I explained my process. I went through the walkthrough of kind of why and how I made that decision. And my SOC manager somewhat understood. And he briefly kind of said, well, hey, next time, like these are some other easy kind of wins you could have checked on, going through the header, checking DKIM, SKIM, DMARC, that prevalence search going 30, 60, 90 days back, seeing what that baseline looks like for that organization. So take responsibility is the big part. But when all else fails, step 7, blame the intern. So these are resume altering events is what I like to sometimes call these, as many of us know from CrowdStrike. So what happened was I single-handedly made the MVD, Motor Vehicle Division, review their process on what happens when DocuSign goes down. Or spearheaded the process improvement at the Motor Vehicle Division by initiating a review of incident response workflows after a legitimate DocuSign outage was misclassified as a phishing threat, leading to the development of more resilient, accurate escalation paths. Pretty sexy, right? Oh, there's more. Got to recreate the SOP on phishing investigations for my team, SOP creation. Or authored and implemented the standardized operating procedure for phishing investigations, enhanced consistency, speed, accuracy of threat triage across the SOC team. Much better, right? We got one more. I got to retrain myself and my intern on how to use the phishing tool. Or led a targeted retraining initiative for team members and interns on the proper use of phishing analysis platforms, improving detection confidence and reducing investigations time through hands-on instruction and workflow automation. You're welcome. Now, the next piece I have for my closing piece of this is just obviously when I was breaking into cyber, there were some things that I had to do to really level myself up and get a little bit more deeper into the weeds. So, and the way that you can do that is exactly what you guys are doing here now, coming to conferences, joining communities. And these are just a few of my favorite communities that are just some Discord communities that you can even get into. Anti-siphon training, Hack Smarter, Simply Cyber, Try Hack Me, GingerHacker, Noob Village, and there's several others I'm probably not mentioning. I know Hack the Box has another great one as well. But these are communities that you can get into where maybe you're not a social butterfly or an extroverted IT guy like myself. I'm a Tigger, I know. But hey, doing and getting into these communities is a great way to still kind of talk to folks, get onto a cool community, and ask questions and kind of link up on Discord at the comfort of your home. Now, I would not also be a good learner and I don't want to gatekeep and provide you guys more resources of ways you can learn things. Try Hack Me has some amazing phishing simulations, extremely I would recommend. So, and I'll give this about 5 seconds each pause if you guys want to take photos. But yeah, so Try Hack Me is fantastic. Moving to the next. Hack the Box is also another great platform. I would put Hack the Box more of in a moderate medium and more red team oriented. However, they have really started releasing some amazing blue team skill rooms called Sherlock rooms. And Hack the Box actually just hosted their first blue team CTF this last year, which was Sherlock back in November. It was really fun and it was very blue team oriented. No red team. No offense, red team. We have our Blue Team Labs Online. This is a company based out of Europe, I believe. And the thing I like about them is that their credentialing process is not just multiple choice, it's a hands-on exam. And actually requires write-ups, case review, you're in a sim, and actually getting to work cases. Simply just hacking training by John Hammond, and I can't remember Don's last name, but 2 years old. They actually just made this about 2 years ago. They have some amazing free and practical labs, also a pay what you can model to kind of get into some amazing trainings, and they have some also pay what you can aspects of awesome capture the flags. Pluralsight is also an amazing one. This one you would have to pay for unless you have a business license with your company. Myself at my previous job, they had a license for this. It's very much like Udemy, if you're familiar with Udemy, or Udemy, however you like to say it, with instructor-led courses, good practice tests, and excellent for training. Goes without saying, anti-siphon training, one of my amazing things I have to pitch out to everyone. I know John Strand may not be in this room, but I know he's here. The training that they do an amazing pay what you can model and a lot of also free training that at the end of it, it's live instructor led. They provide all the open resources for the training and tools, and it is fantastic. Another great resource, and this one has a QR code you can scan, it is a Pocket Prep. So right now they're actually doing a 30-day challenge. So Pocket Prep is completely free right now where they're trying to get folks to level up and get into their next certification. They have everything from CompTIA, QEC Council, AWS, CISSP, I think they have CCNA, and I could be off on a few. But yeah, right now they have an awesome free 30-day challenge that's happening right now. So I would definitely go check that out. And yeah, just try to kind of work and level yourself up and get that training down. In conclusion, my thing I would recommend to anybody, whether you're in the field trying to break in, you're a mid-level CISO manager, wherever, keep learning, keep asking questions, keep networking, and keep being curious. And if you guys want to connect, this will take you to my nonprofit and has my LinkedIn and all my kind of LinkedIn trees and socials. Thank you so much for your time. I have a minute left. Any questions? He was never seen from again. No, he actually is now in cybersecurity working as an engineer. He did his time with the state, and yeah, I did not blame him. I took all the blame. He's like, I'll take the blame, man. I'm like, no, this was me. And yeah, we both learned some great values, and then yeah, he went to do bigger, better things. Anyone else? Okay, so if I heard your question right, so like if there's like copious amounts of phishing emails that are going out, or say it a little bit one more time louder, I'm sorry. It might be kind of difficult, but I would recommend that still go with your gut use. So like email compromise is very common, but let's go to the hallway and answer more questions. I'm unfortunately out of time, but thank you guys all so much.